Hi, everyone. I'm James Milan. Welcome to this week's uh, COVID-19 update with our town manager, Adam Chapdelaine. Hello, Adam.
Hey, James. Sorry I'm joining from my phone today. Last minute computer issues, but still glad to be here talking with you.
Well, I'm sure that people will care a lot more about what you have to say than exactly how you're framed. And actually, it looks pretty good for a phone. So we'll
All
just
right.
move forward. There are several things I would like to talk to you about today, including the fact that obviously on the COVID front, the federal authorities have put a pause on the Johnson and Johnson vaccine because of a half dozen or so cases of a severe type of blood clot, as most people are aware, I think. I would like to find out how what effect that might have in Arlington, but let's start with the COVID update, please.
Of course. So I do think the Johnson and Johnson vaccine news is the big portion of the update this week. In terms of our positivity rate, we're down 0.1% from back down to 1.3%. We had been 1.4 last week. So I think that points to a steady state in terms of positivity in Arlington. So I think the message remains the same. Get vaccinated when you can, keep a mask on, and try to adhere to the safe behaviors in terms of who you spend time with and gathering size. In terms of Johnson and Johnson, the most immediate local impact is there was one remaining group of homebound senior citizens that were scheduled to be vaccinated on Tuesday, and that vaccine drive or those visits had to be canceled on Tuesday based on the news. So we will continue to await further guidance from the state on how to handle that. They may wind up allowing us to utilize Moderna or Pfizer for those visits, which is more complicated because it obviously requires 2 visits. Or we might wait what I think now is expected to be another 7 to 10 days until the FDA and the CDC potentially make further decisions about the J&J, and then we could potentially pick up that drive. I think more broadly, as we've probably all been reading and thinking about, is trying to get a better understanding on what the impacts might be to the overall timetable of vaccination and how quickly we're able to reach herd immunity. The initial readouts that I've seen from the federal government are that they're not projecting big impacts. And I haven't seen this specifically, but if I'm reading between the lines, it may be because of good production by Moderna and Pfizer. But I think the most important message that I've been reading, and I will say I want to believe because I myself got the J&J vaccine on Monday, and woke up to the news on Tuesday, probably as concerned as anybody else who had received that vaccine.
What timing?
But I think it is evidence that the system works, right? And that these vaccines should be considered safe because when a concern is raised, proper investigation and research is put into it. So I think we should wait to see what the federal government, FDA, CDC have to say. But I think more than anything, it's evidence that the system works and it protects people.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that interpretation of the situation, and I think it's accurate enough. I think you could even go further and say the system is working to a profound level of vigilance, because to me, numbers such as 6 cases among more than 6 million doses having been given, I just wonder how many things we take on every day happily and without any issue that have significantly less or more, than 1 in a million chance of going wrong.
So I saw that. So this is, as you just said, a 1 in a million chance. Whereas getting in a motor vehicle, you have a 132 in 1 million chance of being fatally injured. So it does put it in perspective that, people don't like to knowingly put themselves in harm's way, but from a probability point of view, it is a very statistically insignificant chance of harm.
Yeah, and again, just within the overall context of trying to get as many people vaccinated as soon as we can, and understanding that that is a real key to moving forward towards herd immunity, to moving back to the life that we all enjoyed, whether we knew it or not. We will know it for a while, that when we feel like life is back to normal, we are going to savor that, no doubt about it. Anyway, we will move on. I got to speak last week, Adam, as you probably know, to our diversity, equity, and inclusion director, Jillian Harvey, and she was, mentioning that April is YW Stand Against Racism Month. YW Boston Stand Against Racism Month, and that Arlington is participating. And I wondered whether you would want to describe in what ways we are participating and what the overall program looks like.
Absolutely. This is a great program. Jill has been providing value to this organization from day one, but I think this is a great public example of the value that she provides, really engaging with departments across the town in dialogues around race and standing against racism. So Jill has already hosted dialogues within various departments, is planning on doing more to try to start to talk about these issues with rank and file staff that haven't yet been part of the trainings that we've been able to partner with the National League of Cities on. There's other departments that are putting together both virtual and real life boards that state their commitment to standing against racism, and other departments still working on exactly how they'll participate in April. But as Jill sent out in an email to department heads on Monday, there's still time. There's still half of April left. And I know it's really engaged department heads and staff across all departments. So, I think it's year-round work, but it's good to take this month to highlight that work and really recommit ourselves to the work.
On a kind of related note, I need to ask you about something that I want to acknowledge. You may not have that much to do with, but nonetheless, I think people would want to hear your thoughts, and that is that the Arlington Commission for Arts and Culture, the ACAC, has sponsored a youth banner initiative where people can see the banners that Arlington students have produced, hanging on, along Mass Ave mostly, and around town. This year's theme, of course, was protest and lifting voices. And one of the banners has sparked some controversy because it has a depiction of a white police officer, tear gas and baton in hand, seeming to face off with a black protester holding a bullhorn. So there's all kinds of interpretations of the piece, obviously, but as I said, it has sparked some controversy. So I can't help but ask for your thoughts on it.
Of course. So you just described it very well. The banner, along with 19 other banners, is part of now, I think, a contest that's in its 6th year, sponsored by the Gracie James Foundation, that has had youth banners awarded and then celebrated by being displayed on Mass Ave on these light poles. Also, as you said, this week started, unfortunately, with controversy around this one banner, as you described. And there's been, and so since Monday, I've received a number of emails, both expressing anger and concern, as well as emails expressing support for the banner and its message. So I think it has demonstrated sort of the ongoing tensions, and I guess by nature, the tensions that these conversations have around race, around policing, and around society and race in general. So later today, today being Thursday, I'll be meeting along with select board members of the Arlington Commission on Arts and Culture, and representatives of the Arlington Public Schools to discuss the process that led to this banner being awarded, and try to gain a shared understanding of the contest, of the theme of the contest, and where we can go from here. So after that meeting, I may have more to publicly share, but I think at this point we're trying to work to hopefully foster positive dialogues coming out of this, and in moving the community forward.
And again, I mean, just acknowledging that you have your hand in many, many, many things around town, and this being less of the case in this situation, we do appreciate and also the fact that you are in process. It is in process in terms of you meeting and deliberating with folks. So we will hope to hear, more from you on this as more comes to light. But we do appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us today. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
That is it for me. I'm wondering if we have forgotten to mention anything.
Only that I'll say, we're coming up on Patriots Day next Monday. Unfortunately,
Oh,
another year without the Patriots Day parade, but still, a good time to celebrate what's a New England tradition. I hope folks, it's not Easter, it's not Thanksgiving, it's not Christmas, but I hope folks are able to still adhere to public safety guidelines, public health guidelines, excuse me, and hope and look forward to what will hopefully be our biggest and best Patriots Day parade next year.
Absolutely, and thanks for that reminder. And happy Patriots Day coming up to one and all. Obviously, the marathon itself, which is a fixture of Patriots Day in all of our experience, has been pushed to the fall, and we look forward to that, and then to getting everything back to normal by next year, as you said. So. All right. Well, thanks for your time, Adam. We really appreciate it. This has been the COVID-19 update with our town manager, Adam Chapdelaine. I'm James Milan. We appreciate you being here. We'll see you next time.